Why they controlled faceoffs and possession.
Yeah, it was, to me, like, that outcome was a bit shocking, right? Early in the year, Notre Dame, to me, is as complete a team in college lacrosse. They seem to be a little clicky in terms of how they play. Like, their momentum can take them in and out of.
First midfield for Syracuse includes Michael Leo, Luke Roa, and English. Here is Spallina.
Matched up against Ramsey, one of the best short stick D-middies in the country. I like this matchup for Syracuse, though.
Spallina gets free, hisses it wide. 90 in white for Notre Dame. Sean Light, ACC co-defensive player of the year with Duke's Aiden McGuire. Spallina sandwich, shovels it back to X. Hiltz on the doorstep, puts it through.
Right-handed for Hiltz. Doesn't happen often, but what a start for Syracuse. That was an amazing possession. Owen Hiltz has now scored 55 of the 60 games he's played in his college career. But Syracuse right there, a nice flow on offense. Joey Spallina does a nice job catching the ball in traffic, gets it up to Leo, right? Look at the composure, the one-handed pass behind the cage, and then Hiltz comes the backside, moves it to his right hand, his weak.
Jordan Faison, wide receiver for the Irish football team. He's got a short stick matchup in Carter Rice. Shot clock dips inside of 10. Kavanaugh, right hand free, shoots. McCool, the ACC goalkeeper of the year with his first save.
He's got a hot hand right now in cage as Syracuse pushes in transition.
They might have a shot here. Billy Dwan, the long pole goal, the 12th of his career, and the Orange with a little early juice.
Syracuse has what appears to be a little bit more energy here early in the game. And I love that for Syracuse. I mean, look, they're 6-on-6. They beat you with off-ball movement and just pure lacrosse skill. If they can add in between the middle of the field some offense in slow break situations and fast break situations, as Dwan fills in nicely. And again, oftentimes that attackman throws it behind X, but Spallina able to see the field and do it all midfielder.
Roa can shoot on the run. Hiltz a great through passer. Leo from the wing. Ramsey denies the angle. English behind the cage, Hiltz. Probing against Schwitzenberg. Leo, he's got that first step, he's got that quickness. Roa uncorks and connects.
This is the offense from Syracuse we've been missing in their 3-game losing streak. But man, they're getting whatever they want on offense. Opportunity after opportunity. As we look at Nick Roa, who gets the 3rd goal for Syracuse. But just look at Syracuse offense, right? You have English here off the pipe, another high-quality shot. They back it up. And then again, Leo doing a nice job initiating, gets to his strong left hand, and now Notre Dame is compromised. And Roa, probably the best outside shooter on Syracuse, hands-free, gonna make you pay so you can play a little bit better team defense.
And we've also seen teams double pole, Faison and Jeffrey. Now you can put a pole back on McLean. You don't have to double pole. Off the turnover, the Irish looking for their first goal. Almost halfway through this opening quarter. Notre Dame has been a slow starter of late. Long dodge by Kavanaugh. Nobody picked him up and he scores. Way too easy for Chris Kavanaugh.
Notre Dame getting an extra possession here. Donovan with the check, causing the turnover. And then they get an offense, and to me right there, just a miscommunication from Syracuse on the defensive end. Way too easy for Kavanaugh to get his hands that open That strategy behind clearing has changed completely. The athleticism of the attackman riding it back in the middle of the field makes a difference.
Also, you have a shot clock now.
Absolutely.
So there's an urgency to move. A save by McCool. No, went over. He got a piece of it. Taylor will dig it out. Notre Dame 1 for 9 shooting. The freshman Luke Miller feeding inside. Buzenkill, the quick stick score.
Notre Dame with a nice offensive set. Luke Miller with a nice little face dodge here to his right hand. And the nice touch pass. Buzenkill filling to the back post. Pass a little low, but the pace of it was great. A catchable ball, and Buzenkill, right here, you can see that cut. 3 Syracuse defensemen cutting to the left side. Maybe a little bit early for them.
Notre Dame comes into this game riding a 13-game winning streak in the month of May. They went 3-1 last year. They went 6-0 against ACC opponents. Average margin of victory, almost 8 goals per game. And when we saw them in the ACC tournament, in the semis, they beat Virginia by 9 and then blasted Duke by 10 on Sunday.
And those scores were generous, right? Like, they were up big early as Syracuse, almost the carbon copy of the Notre Dame goal, counters and gets their 4th of the game.
Luke Roa from Owen Hiltz. And that's 2 for Roa.
But again, you're going to see this here, right? Hiltz, the pick behind. And just the nice, subtle backdoor cut. I mean, Will Donovan, right? Like, looked away for a hot second. And Roa.
Support today, Justin Walters, Jules Henningberg. Outside blast from Cordes, saved. Catapulting out of the cage, Richard Deli tiptoes the sideline, little Fred Astaire, and now Ramsey the clear. He's the bagpiper, he's the captain, bullying Hoddle. Ramsey spun around, Tornado's out of trouble, shoots low, McCool the save, and the rebound is in. I think they're gonna give that to number 21, Brock Berman. What a sequence.
An interesting sequence. Ramsey, one of the best D-middies in the country, puts himself in trouble. Coach Corrigan doesn't call the timeout. Kind of rolls his way out of the double team. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna have my hands open here. And then McCool, who's been lights out so far with the save. But then the nice awareness on that one-timer.
It's like a hockey goal right there. Now the puck is loose, and
yeah, I mean, Berman, just the nice job. And again, like, the awareness to stay out of the Chicago area. I mean, you look at Johnson from Duke, Menendez from Duke. I mean, some of the White from Ohio State, all from the Chicagoland area. That's good for Notre Dame, because that will be right in their hotbed of recruitment.
They were such a geographic outlier for so long, and now they recruit nationally. They go get whoever they want. The Mendoza Business School has been a great little tentacle to lure in grad transfers. How about Seymour from long range? We're tied at 4.
Notre Dame ties the game at 4 with Seymour getting his 12th, but it, again, starts off a turnover from Leo right there, just kind of looks away to see how much time left on the shot clock, and then Notre Dame makes him pay. Seymour, again, there's that north-south movement I was talking about. You see how he takes this slight bend in right here. You can see he gets his hips going north-south, none of his energy going towards the sideline.
Of its last 10 on offense.
There we go, D!
Spolina 0 for 3, does have an assist.
And I'd like to see Syracuse get back to some of that offense they were demonstrating early. A lot of quick ball movement to start the offensive sets. Initial dodge, but then it's quick pass after pass after pass, getting Notre Dame spread out. and generating better quality opportunities than they have here recently.
Here's Hills, turns the corner and stings.
Or just do that. But again, Leo this time going to initiate the offense for Syracuse, right? He's got the short stick matchup, and then Hills just does a nice job coming near side. Schweitzenberg gets caught sleeping on the back post, and Hiltz does a nice job just flashing to the front near side. He gets his 36th of the season.
When Gary Gate took over, he harnessed the power of Poutine, the Canadians. Hiltz, Finn Thompson, Mullen on the faceoff. Make it, take it, turn and rake it.
Mullen's the MVP right now for Syracuse. Dominating possession. Winning faceoff after faceoff. And on the last one here, does it all himself. Right down the middle of the field with a nice bounce shot. Elevation change.
Basically, we're just getting after the guys. Like, we're just giving them the ball back on the clear. It's not because we're not being successful in our X's and O's passing. We're just getting outworked.
And look, I think Coach Corrigan realized
They had to clean that up really well.
That's not what he said, but the idea or the theme is true in that he understands how important, if you're not winning faceoffs, to get ground balls and clear the ball. But Syracuse making them pay again.
Peyton Anderson, and it's a 3-0 run after Notre Dame tied this game at 4.
And Coach Corrigan understands that those clears, that if they don't get those, and they're not winning the faceoff X, this can get away from them pretty quickly.
And to your point, that's now 5 goals directly on a possession following a faceoff win.
And that's why the 50-50 ground balls and the clears and like the lack of mental errors is so important. Syracuse has scored 3 goals in 20.
That's a philosophy is Notre Dame dares you to make the high-end pass, the high-risk, high-reward pass. Some teams don't want to take that bait. Syracuse is capable of making those passes.
More than almost any team in the country. Again, right here, if I'm Syracuse, I'm looking to English here on the far side of the field, matched up against the short stick. And they're sticking to a script. This was clearly their offensive game plan.
Another goal for the Orange. Sam English, 4 unanswered, and it's coming in eye blink.
I mean, Syracuse going after Notre Dame short stick defenseman. And again, look, it's the subtlety of this dodge right here. I mean, Sam English, predominantly right hand. Look, he's going to do the face dodge, and now he fakes a backhanded flip and keeps it to free his hands up. Like, you're going to see it right here in this angle. Look at this subtle movement right there. The backhand pass, the flip pass that he just...
Well, they have a Jake Taylor.
It's all coming full circle.
And now if you're the Irish, are you patient here? Do you have to give your defense a little time to catch its breath?
I think so, especially if you're not winning at the X. But again, this is a Notre Dame team that has been down multiple times by 3-4 goals, and then they go and runs. You blink your eye, and all of a sudden they're up. So they've been here. They know, and they know this is going to be a tough matchup.
The freshman, Luke Miller, 2 points in this first half, a goal. They had an assist earlier, and that stops the Syracuse Avalanche.
Luke Miller making an impact here in the ACC Championship. Again, I think on the scouting report, right? Make him go right. And right there, he does a nice job taking that extra step. Gets McCool to come off the post. McCool being a lefty, right? You're going to see this one extra step. Now McCool's going to step off the post, and he comes back near side. Like, people don't understand, like, it is the extra half step that you may not appreciate.
First midfield for the Irish, Maharis, Angrick, Faison. Matt Jeffrey out today. left of the last game in a neck brace. Notre Dame would not commit to his status on Sunday. Kavanaugh now against Figueres. Inside roll, Kavanaugh twisted, still hangs on, multiple flags down. Free possession. Faison, quick as a hiccup.
Chris Kavanaugh's ability to maintain possession when he put himself into a dangerous offensive situation. Right here, it's this inside roll. He's now going to get double teamed. Obviously a hold on Syracuse. But to keep his feet moving, to run away from pressure, to now you have Faison against a short stick. Game over. And again, look, if Faison is one of the best receivers, right, like in college football, rolls completely inversed.
Now, Will Lynch in 2023, his play championship weekend, a big reason Notre Dame won that title. Had a terrific year last year. Roa, a couple first half tallies, now English. Trying to get free from the All-American Donovan. Bounce shot, save Ricciardelli. Quick outlet to Ramsey. Ramsey galloping in. Over to Kavanaugh, one more, McLean! Poetry by the Irish.
Ricciardelli for Notre Dame on the defensive end, answering the bell. Again, a good position of the field for English to take that shot, but Ricciardelli does a nice job going low and then reading the bounce, and that ball is out of his stick in a millisecond to create transition for Notre Dame. And right there, they get it to Kavanaugh, where you have to slide out to him. That opens up passing.
Syracuse top 10 with the extra man this season, 51% entering play. 0 for 1 today, and the Orange have missed their last 10 shots.
And Syracuse's man up, what's really unique about them is they don't really have a set play. It's just all feel and flow. It's two-man triangles that no other team has run.
How pretty was that? Greg Elijah Brown, 4th goal of his career.
And think about the difference of how that looked versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame kept the ball in one position of the field, banged it back and forth. Syracuse, that ball whipped around from one side to the other, and it's that off-ball movement, right, that gets Notre Dame extending out, opens up the skip lanes, and leads to the easy finish. Like, that's the key on the man up, is to get the ball and attack the opposite side of the field, because then what happens, the defense...
His status if the Irish would get to Sunday, so it remains to be seen if Jeffrey will play on Sunday, but certainly out today. Will Maheras, 16 in white, taking Jeffrey's spot on that first midfield. Chris Kavanaugh. 7 different goal scorers for the Irish. Kavanaugh with a goal and an assist. Angrick inverts Carter Rice. Angrick gets a step, top side, and scores.
A choppy offensive possession for Notre Dame, but Angrick does a nice job getting that ground ball and then the individual effort from behind. And if you were to ask me, you know, who the next 5 minutes is most important to, I really think it's Notre Dame, because they were getting outplayed but were close. And so every extra possession they can get, every opportunity to make Syracuse start to sweat, self-doubt comes into the mind of the Syracuse Orange.
Yeah, and a chance now for Notre Dame. Johnny Racusa at the face-off X for Syracuse after Mullen.
What worked for them in the first half was identifying who had the short stick matchup, whether it was English or whether it was Leo, and initiate with them and move off ball.
This is Leo of their top 6. He's their best one-on-one dodger. Roa, 8 in blue, 2 goals today. Wheels it back to X. Owen Hiltz, checked by Schwitzenberg. Now picked up by the short stick Reinhardt.
And this is a good matchup for Syracuse.
Hiltz tries to get inside. He does. The goal is good. And a flag down. Owen Hiltz with a hat trick.
Great things happen when you dodge hard. This play all starts with Hiltz taking it hard to the cage. Notre Dame switches. He gets matched up against a short stick. And right here, the nice face dodge. Steps up the field, the patient finish. Big time goal for Syracuse, up 10-8.
The game, 31% on the extra man. That's 48th nationally. Last year, their man up was among the very best we have ever seen. You went man up on Notre Dame. You were asking for it.
It was different, right? They had that true quarterback in Pat Cavanaugh. Then you had Chris Cavanaugh in the danger zone as a shooter. And they just don't have, they're asking Chris to kind of play that quarterback role, and that's not his strength. The Syracuse makes him pay.
Finn Thompson off the feed from Leo. Talk about a pendulum swing. Missed opportunity for the Irish with a two-man advantage. Syracuse capitalizes on the other end.
Again, Syracuse, a nice job on the 6-on-4, really packing it in, making them take that outside shot. You trust the ACC goalie of the year in McCool. And then right here, Leo, just a nice job getting to the middle of the field and becoming dangerous, right? Ramsey lets him to his strong left hand. Now you have a lot of eyes drawn to Leo sliding up the field. And Thompson.
Third quarter, only one shot. Their scoreless streak now going on 10 minutes.
But just look at the difference of the man-ups here. That just constant movement from Syracuse versus Notre Dame standing still.
Hiltz dangerous on the man up.
Again, you could just see the constant triangle offense from Syracuse, just working two sides of the three-man game.
And it's Spolina to Elijah Brown. That's the second time with the extra man those two have connected.
And it's just, it looks different. It looks like they're throwing and passing the ball with more intention than what we've seen from the Fighting Irish. But again, they just run two triangles on either side. It's a bunch of carrying and filling in the backside, right? You can see this right-sided triangle over here. When they pass the ball over, you can see Finn Thompson kind of carry. And now you have the wide open Elijah Brown getting his second of the game from the exact same spot.
At the shot clock to 60.
Ramsey playing determined. But McCool, how good has he been?
He's 14 out of 22. Kevin Corrigan puts his hands up. Ramsey will run off. By Harris. Joins the midfield trio. Faison lost it.
Faison trying to fight Town Hall. Getting to the middle of the field.
We get another shot clock reset to 60. Scoring drought for the Irish, now 16.5 minutes. McClain, doorstep, Richard Deli, quick stick score. Is that the goal that sparks an Irish comeback?
A long possession for the Irish, got a couple loose balls. 50-50 ground balls coming up for the Irish. And they get their first goal in some time on the nice feed, and Richard Deli, backdoor cut, gets the Irish 2-3-minute penalty for no reason. It was more, he didn't even get flagged when he was walking off the field. He was just engaging the Syracuse players, but the refs let him do it. So it's look, I understand sending the message as a coach, but it's also one of your leaders. Like, I love him on the field.
Sixth-year senior. English, doorstep, Hiltz stings the top shelf. 4 goals for Owen Hiltz.
We've talked a lot about Hiltz today and his ability to initiate more so than what we've seen throughout the season. This is what we're accustomed to The lefty can absolutely sling the rock. Just, I mean, look, I love the angle we're going to see here. The skip pass from English, the look away from English, and then look at that accuracy, low to high, near side.
Faison gets it back, shoots. Well, let's see what the ruling is here. In the crease, Notre Dame. Yeah, Matt, the two games against Notre Dame have been arguably Syracuse's best two performances of the season when you factor in the opponent. They've been physical. Defensively, they've done their job. That's going to go back the other way. Ronan Doherty, the cause turnover. 18 saves for McCool, but he won't stop Chris Kavanaugh. Not over yet, 13-10, 2:19 to go. And there's a man down for the Cuse.
Kind of a chaotic sequence there. Really, Notre Dame's best offense has come in transition off of caused turnovers in the ride, ground balls, picking the ball up quickly and attacking the opposite direction. Right here, like Kavanaugh, the low to high finish near side. Nothing McCool can do on that. He's at
8. Saw Will Marks struggling a bit, and he contemplated putting in Jimmy McCool. And I remember asking him, I said, how close is it right now? And he said, I think they're very close. He said they were close before the season, and now you're watching what Jimmy McCool can do.
Yeah, what's it say? Like you have two goalies, you don't have one, but clearly not the case.
Hiltz into the empty net right off the restart. He didn't waste any time. That's his 5th goal. Matt, that tells me they have faith in John Mullen at the faceoff X.
Yeah. You know, Notre Dame knowing with under 2 minutes here that they need to cause some chaos and turnovers. They start with the double team right off the dead ball window. Now you're in a very vulnerable position there, right? To double team in front of the cage. But again, that's why you call a timeout where you do, because it makes it very hard for the defense.
Now this makes it interesting here over the final 34 seconds. Five on 3. Notre Dame 0 for 5 with the extra man today. And that includes a missed opportunity with a 2-man advantage. McLean, step down. Irish get one back, 14-11. That didn't take a lot of time. 28 seconds to go.
And so one of those penalties should be releasable, maybe 2 for Syracuse. I think you may be now.
So you still have a 5 on 3 here for the Irish. 18 seconds to go. Stranger things have happened. Behrman, McLean. It'll stay with Notre Dame, 11 seconds left. Syracuse still has 3 guys in the box.
4.
And that's a shot and a score from Angrick, 7.8 seconds to go. 14-12. You know, the Syracuse coaches are trying to figure out the personnel situation.
So the offsides has to be released. I'm very confused.
Right, the offsides penalty should be released.
But why was the push in the back that was the first penalty there not released? I think there was only one unsportsmanlike penalty per team.
Boy, this could get real interesting if Notre Dame scores a goal here very quickly. So
penalties released at 2 seconds.
Mullen able to win the faceoff. And this should do it. So a little bit of a chaotic, messy ending But Syracuse holds on for a 14-12 win. Got chippy. We had a 5-on-3 at the end, but the Orange will play in the ACC Championship Sunday. Notre Dame will now find out its fate on Selection Sunday. Will the Irish have a first-round home game at Arlada, which is one of the best home field advantages in the sport right now, maybe the best? Or do the two-time defending champions have to go on the road in round one? That's going to be one of the storylines on Sunday.